Welcome to Albums Out of 100. This is a music album review channel where albums are given a standardised mark, unsurprisingly out of 100. We rate the albums on the criteria of listening experience, lyrics, fluency and album cover. You are currently listening to a review of the new Robbie Williams album, Swings Both Ways. I recommend you listen along to the album on Spotify to get the most out of this review. The track list is as follows. Track 1, Shine My Shoes. Track 2, Go Gentle. Track 3, I Wanna Be Like You featuring Ollie Murs. Track 4, Swing Supreme. Track 5, Swings Both Ways featuring Rufus Wainwright. Track 6, Dream a Little Dream featuring Lily Allen. Track 7, Soda Pop feat Michael Bublé. Track 8, Snowblind. Track 9, Putting on the Ritz. Track 10, Little Green Apples featuring Kelly Clarkson. Track 11, Minnie the Moocher. Track 12, If I Only Had a Brain. Track 13, No One Likes a Fat Pop Star. The genre is swing. This is Robbie's 10th studio album, and it was released in 2013. Last week, actually. Let's get started with the review then, and remember, what follows is simply my opinion. Album cover. The album cover is often the first thing you see of an album. I don't like this cover. The bright, plain background just seems lazy to me, and the fact that the featured artist is splashed across it detracts from it further. I mean, it looks like a badly made fan cover. I could put that together myself, with just a stock photo of Robbie. In fact, you know what? I will do. Point proven. At the same time though, there's nothing to make me despise the album cover as such, therefore it gets 1 out of 5. Track by track analysis. Track 1, Shine My Shoes. Shine My Shoes is a poorly disguised middle finger to all Robbie's haters. You know, all the people who've ever criticised him or his music. Then again though, I think it's meant to be poorly disguised. He wants them to hear the track and be annoyed that he has the nerve to insult them back. He seems to be baiting these naysayers with such lines as these. I love the way he's just so smug sounding in the song. I mean, after all, he's the multimillionaire singer, and his haters are just haters. They can hate him all they like, but they can't touch him. The song also does a great job of starting the album firmly with the pledged swing genre. What is swing, you ask? Here's the most concise answer. Swing is a genre of music that uses a rhythm section of double bass and drums as the anchor for a lead section of brass instruments, or sometimes stringed instruments, set to medium or fast tempos. Shine My Shoes fits all of the above criteria and is therefore classified as swing music. Individually, the song is very lively, which is great for the start of the album. Track 2, Go Gentle. The lead single from Swings Both Ways, Go Gentle, is a fantastic composition written by Robbie and addressed to his baby daughter Teddy. He gives her his best tips for her life to come, and it sounds really soothing and calming with its relaxed tempo and instrumentation. Kind of like a lullaby. It feels really genuine and heartfelt though, and it's full of the nice sentiment of a new dad wanting the best for his new daughter. The bridge, or middle 8, of the track is fantastic too. It's a few whistled chords that really certify the song's spot in my personal favourite songs catalogue. It's just such a refreshing track to hear against all the strife in the world, a song declaring true love through it all. Track 3, I Wanna Be Like You, featuring Ollie Murs. The album's first cover track, and also the first duet on the album, I Wanna Be Like You is originally from the Disney film The Jungle Book, and it's hard not to judge it on that. The lyrics are very strongly tied to the film, and don't really make sense unless you've watched it. It also brings a very abrupt change from the modern Go Gentle that came before it, meaning the two tracks don't flow well together at all. I mean, one's from the late 60s, and the other is as modern swing as you can get. The song does sound good standing on its own though. Robbie handles the shifts from verses to choruses very successfully with his practiced voice, and Ollie's higher voice contrasts well in the verses. The track also has the first appearance of scat singing on the album. Scat singing is basically singing with nonsense, often improvised words, to fill gaps in the track. It's a characteristic feature of the swing genre. The two singers also improvise a smooth ending to the track, so overall the track is a standalone success. Track 4, Swing Supreme. The nicest word I can think of to describe Swing Supreme is rehash. It's a re-recording of the successful Robbie Williams hit, Supreme, released back in the year 2000. It feels desperate and pointless for Robbie to re-release a song like Supreme, when it charted well the first time. The phrase, feeding off past success, comes to mind. The new version doesn't actually add anything worthwhile to the song either. In fact, it serves only to blemish memories of the original. The tempo is too fast, making it sound rushed, and the instruments used to create an unnecessary mystic sci-fi-ish sound. Even worse, Robbie seems to be putting on an American accent for the majority of the track. Why? People have paid for the album to hear Robbie sing properly, not in a bad American accent. Save that for impressing the dinner party guests. Track 5, Swings Both Ways, featuring Rufus Wainwright. Wow, I take it back. Swing Supreme may have been misplaced and misconceived, yes, but the title track, Swings Both Ways, is just a straightforward, terrible song. I'd go as far as to say that in a full ranking of preference of all Robbie Williams' 256 studio recordings, it would come very near to last for me. It's one of his worst efforts released to the public, worse even than ILMP, and that song was considered so poor taste that it was banned from Spotify. Not censored, straight out banned. The track Swings Both Ways is even worse in my opinion. It's a nonsense song that compiles all these homosexuality related phrases into a horrible cringy duet with Rufus. The central line, "Everybody swings both ways," is obviously meant to be some form of high wit, but it just falls flat on its face. It leaves you staring at the CD player in utter horror as the credibility of the album is vanquished as the pair sing on oblivious to how ridiculous and unfunny the song is. I mean, near the start of the song, Rufus says, "Face it, Robbie, you're a little bit gay." It's not amusing. The song continues. About a verse later, Robbie accuses Rufus of the exact same thing, barely even worded differently. Rufus then again repeats, "Face it, Robbie, you're a little bit gay." Why say it 3 times? It's just terrible writing. It wasn't funny the first time, so you definitely don't need to repeat it, and certainly not 3 times. The song also includes lines such as the above. Can you tell me that's a lyric that's been well thought out? No, you can't, because this song is just a huge joke on Robbie's behalf. He should never have agreed to sing on such a stupid song. Never mind putting it on an album. Track 6, Dream a Little Dream, featuring Lily Allen. If you don't already know this as a cover, you must never listen to the radio. It's been covered by too many people to list. This version does sound good though. Lily's voice really shines in her solo in the second verse. Sometimes though, a song has just been covered too much, and this is the case here. Track 7, Soda Pop, featuring Michael Bublé. Hooray! Back to an original track, and a fantastic one too. Robbie and Michael Bublé really do sound fantastic together, and this is the sort of song that I could listen to all day. With its heavy emphasis on the scat mechanism, introduced earlier, it seems to burst into each chorus, before sliding back into the next verse smoothly. The drum work at the start of the track is successfully complemented, as the brass section appears in the track too. Track 8, Snowblind. Well, besides being as boring as watching margarine rot, this song isn't even swing. 2 reasons for that. 1. It's slow tempo, and as stated earlier, swing is mid or fast tempo. 2. It doesn't feature any form of rhythm section to the track, no bass guitar, no drums, meaning it isn't a swing track. On a swing album. That can't be right, can it? Plus, the vocal was recorded 10 years ago. It's got a good melody, but it really doesn't have much going for it. Even the sparsely placed lyrics are boring. Track 9, Putting on the Ritz. Good vocals here, but once again it's a cover, and that means that here Robbie is singing about early 20th century fashion, hardly relevant to modern day life in the 21st century. It's a bit short too, but great vocals. Track 10, Little Green Apples, featuring Kelly Clarkson. Another cover, and it makes a really nice duet with Kelly Clarkson as they take the roles of 2 lovers both talking about the reassuring nature of love. It's a really beautiful track, carried off perfectly by the 2 singers. It's a sweet song, as each of them sings a verse talking of their adoration for the other, combining to sing together on the choruses. It doesn't even matter that the 2 of them never actually met in the studio, that the vocals were recorded separately. It still sounds good. Track 11, Minnie the Moocher. This song is an interesting one. Filled with copious amounts of scat singing, it seems a straightforward mid-tempo song until just after 2 minutes in, where it undergoes a tempo change and becomes blisteringly fast-paced. It doesn't even stick at that tempo. It drops back to the slower pace before the song closes. It's a fantastic, complex composition, just not one you can credit Robbie Williams with creating. It's another cover. Track 12, If I Only Had a Brain. The sleeve notes of the album tell me that although this song may in essence be just a cover of a Wizard of Oz song, they tell me that Robbie feels a special personal connection to the track. That gives it a huge boost in my opinion. To sing a song publicly that you find deeply personal, then admit to the world that you find the song deeply personal, because its lyrics correspond with your own feelings about not being intelligent. That's what Robbie's saying. Wow, that takes bravery. Track 13, Nobody Likes a Fat Pop Star, featuring Adele. No, wait, no, my bad. Adele isn't featured. Oops. There is, however, a huge opera-style chorus lined up that echoes Robbie on each chorus. You can't beat a huge opera-style chorus. The lyrics are engaging and amusing in equal measure too. They're a protest against the notion that pop music should just be for thin, good-looking artists, as it currently is. It's the sort of song that urges you to cast your prejudices aside. It asks why pop should just be for the thin and beautiful. There's a real daftness to the song though. It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's like when the opera singers do come in the first time, it catches you completely by surprise, because it's such an audacious production move. Ultimately, it may not be a real anthem standard song, but it is affecting enough to make you stop and think. Totalling up the points. Overall for listening experience, this swing album is really a chance for Robbie to show off his voice, which definitely sounds great here. His voice sounds very mature and refined compared to older recordings too. The orchestra is also great, and these two factors combine to make the album sound fantastic in most places, with a real swing atmosphere. There are weak links though. Snowblind and Swing Supreme in particular detract from the listening experience. I'm going to settle on a score of 34 out of 45. Overall for lyrics, well, I'm going to pitch this in a poetic fashion. Imagine a Van Gogh painting. The Flowers one, in fact, that's just about as famous as art gets. It's almost universally considered a masterpiece. Now imagine I got a piece of tracing paper and copied it, then sold my traced copy off as a new version of the classic. You wouldn't choose the copy over the original, would you? After all, it's just a copy. All the hard work was done by Van Gogh, not me. What I'm trying to get at here is that the same is true for the lyrical content on Swings Both Ways. It's mostly a copy, or a cover. Whichever you prefer, it means the same thing. By covering, you're not making the effort to write your own lyrics. Therefore, I couldn't ever feel justified giving an album containing covers a full mark for lyrics. Therefore, Swings Both Ways incurs a significant penalty here for being comprised of 7 covers out of 13 tracks. That may not make the music bad, but it does make the lyrics unoriginal for the most part. And that's what I'm rating at the moment. It would just seem unfair for me to give Robbie the credit for songs he's ultimately only doing his own version of. Anyway, the lyrics that are unique to the album are often weak, as seen in the title track in Snowblind, but then at the same time there are strong lyrics in songs like Nobody Likes a Fat Pop Star and Go Gentle. It's a real mixed bag of an album, really. 24 out of 40. Overall for fluency, the constant shifts between mid-20th century songs and modern songs makes the album seem patchy. It would sound better with a reordering of its tracks to form 2 distinct sections to its track list, older and newer swing. At the same time though, all the songs, barring Snowblind, sound like swing, and that gives it a sense of fluency. 4 out of 10. Meaning, if my calculations are correct, that Swings Both Ways has scored 63 marks out of 100, meaning it is rated as a good album on our comparison scale. My standout tracks would have to be Go Gentle, Soda Pop, and No One Likes a Fat Pop Star. Well, that's it for this review. Leave a comment below to let me know what rating you would give Swings Both Ways. This channel also has an official Facebook page, so like that too if you want to see some more album reviews. An MP3 of this video is also available on SoundCloud. You can also check out our official website, where you will find links to all our videos plus some exclusive content and the official scoreboard. The next review will be of This Time Around by David Hasselhoff, but we should also have the top 10 albums of 2013 out by Christmas. See you then. Last week actually. Let's get started with the review then, and remember, what follows is simply my opinion. Album cover. The album cover is often the first thing you see of an album. I don't like this cover. The bright, plain background just seems lazy to me, and the fact that the featured artist is splashed across it detracts from it further. I mean, it looks like a badly made fan cover. I could put that together myself, with just a stock photo of Robbie. In fact, you know what? I will do. Point proven. At the same time though, there's nothing to make... Welcome to Albums Out of 100. This is a music album review channel where albums are given a standardised mark, unsurprisingly, out of 100. We rate the albums on the criteria of listening experience, lyrics, fluency, and album cover. You are currently listening to a review of the new Robbie Williams album, Swings Both Ways. I recommend you listen along to the album on Spotify to get the most out of this review. The track list is as follows. Track 1, Shine My Shoes. Track 2, Go Gentle. Track 3, I Wanna Be Like You featuring Ollie Murs. Track 4, Swing Supreme. Track 5, Swings Both Ways featuring Rufus Wainwright. Track 6, Dream a Little Dream featuring Lily Allen. Track 7, Soda Pop feat Michael Bublé. Track 8, Snowblind. Track 9, Putting on the Ritz. Track 10, Little Green Apples featuring Kelly Clarkson. Track 11, Minnie the Moocher. Track 12, If I Only Had a Brain. Track 13, No One Likes a Fat Pop Star. The genre is swing. This is Robbie's 10th studio album, and it was released in 2013. It may despise the album cover as such, therefore it gets 1 out of 5. Track by track analysis. Track 1, Shine My Shoes. Shine My Shoes is a poorly disguised middle finger to all Robbie's haters. You know, all the people who've ever criticised him or his music. Then again though, I think it's meant to be poorly disguised. He wants them to hear the track and be annoyed that he has the nerve to insult them back. He seems to be baiting these naysayers with such lines as these. I love the way he's just so smug sounding in the song. I mean, after all, he's the multimillionaire singer, and his haters are just haters. They can hate him all they like, but they can't touch him. The song also does a great job of starting the album firmly with the pledged swing genre. What is swing, you ask? Here's the most concise answer. Swing is a genre of music that uses a rhythm section of double bass and drums as the anchor for a lead section of brass instruments, or sometimes stringed instruments, set to medium or fast tempos. Shine My Shoes fits all of the above criteria and is therefore classified as swing music. Individually,